Wrestling is for boys. At least that's what a lot of people think. My daughter and I spent some time at the Alabama High School girls wrestling tournament. And I want to walk you through her experience and a story that I think you're going to want to see. Now, wrestling is a hard sport. It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of grinding it out, especially when you're the only girl. Now, Havah is probably more used to this than most people are. You see, Havah is the oldest of 7 brothers, and most of them have wrestled for about 2 years now. And it's where Havah got the idea to begin to compete in wrestling. Hold it. So she started putting in the work, both with Deshler and with the Lionheart Youth Wrestling Club. Now, due to an illness in the family, we missed the week that Havah had the most matches scheduled. And so she only got to wrestle this one in the regular season. So her record entering the Alabama Girls State Championship tournament, she was 1-0, leaving her unseeded entering the tournament. Now check this out. Alabama has only had girls wrestling for a few years. And these young ladies have shown up from all around Alabama to represent their schools and themselves to show the power of wrestling like a girl. Now, because Havah did not have enough matches, she came in unseeded as an 8th grader. And we knew we had a challenge because we had to wrestle a really tough senior out of Weaver who had quite a bit of wrestling experience. And we were right to be concerned because after the first period, Havah was down 7-1. But then Havah locked it in and found her stride. Now, in case you're wondering how scoring works in folk-style wrestling, if you take your opponent down and get control, you get 2 points. If your opponent has control and you escape, you score 1 point. If you take your opponent down and their back is pointed towards the mat within a 45-degree angle, you'll see the referee counting. Those are near fall points and sometimes called back points. If the referee counts to 3, you score 2 points. And if the referee counts to 5, you score 3 points. And now there's 2 ways to end a match early. You get your opponent's shoulder blades both touching the mat. That's called a fall or a pin, and the match is over. And the other way is to be up on your opponent by 15 points. That's called a tech fall. It's kind of like a mercy rule. Havah's made it to the semifinals against the number 2 kid in the state. She works hard and secures a takedown and gets control. However, you don't become the number 2 kid in the state without being crafty and knowing how to get out of difficult situations. Mackenzie gets wrist control, she tripods up, and she catches Havah. Havah does a good job trying to fight it off, but Mackenzie's been here before. She stays heavy, and she pins her. Now in wrestling, this is where things get hard. You see, in team sports, when you lose, you have teammates to share the brunt of that loss. But in wrestling, you feel the full weight of the loss as the individual who is out there competing. Now, as a father, I love this life lesson because Havah's emotional. I want her to be. It's part of who she is. But I also want her to know how to work through it, have mental toughness. And I want her to have the tools to embrace difficulty, to do hard things, to endure, and to overcome. And that's exactly what she did. And talking about an overcomer, you may remember Kenley Fulmer from earlier in the day. She had fought her way all the way through the consolation bracket to give herself a rematch against Havah. Now, Havah took some time to get her mind right because she knew to finish third in the state, she was going to have to defeat Mary Martin, who came into this tournament ranked in the top 5.
Our third place finisher, Havah Deshler.
So if any of you young ladies out there want to try something new and powerful, I'd encourage you, why don't you go wrestle like a girl?